I think we've pretty conclusively exploded the myth that women write small domestic play.
Yeah.
In 2019, we noticed that there was serious inequality on major stages in the UK between male and female writers, and we wanted to do something about it.
So when Ellie first came to me, Katie Posner and I just started as artistic directors at Plough, and we're kind of right at the beginning of going, what is it we want to achieve here with this new writing company? And Ellie shared her idea of doing something to kind of level up gender equality on national stages. And I'd say Ellie and I and Katie are all doers. So we were like, definitely. Okay, this is the problem. Should we do something about it? Yeah, let's do something about it.
In 2018, only 26% of new main stage plays were written by women. The prize is here to agitate for that not to happen, and to insist that it doesn't, actually.
It just felt like if we don't do some sort of intervention now, then where do we end up? And how does theatre not just stagnate and tell the same stories about the same people to the same people?
Imagine if you never watched a new TV programme again in your life.
Yeah.
How limiting that would be,
and
how boring it would get.
Yeah, because nothing ever changes. I always say that theatre is not a museum culture.
Yeah.
It's not there to just tell stories that we've heard a million times before. Sometimes dressed up in slightly different ways.
Yeah.
And I think that there is an appetite for the new, and I think people do like change, but sometimes don't like the idea of change.
And what we definitely realised was that nothing is going to change on its own.
Yes. One of the things we've been really conscious of is trying to celebrate particularly those that reach the long list and the short list, and trying to kind of think about how a prize like this can kind of platform those writers in a different way to how they might have been previously.
Because it acts as a catalogue of brilliant plays that have the seal of approval not only of us but a massive panel of readers. And we can use that to show theatres, here is the work that you can programme.
And here are lots of great plays by women, because a rhetoric we would hear a lot is, we'd love to include more female non-binary writers in our programme, we just haven't seen the great plays by them.
Yeah.
And we're going, well, here's several hundred of them, take your pick.
Yeah. And it's really fantastic to see plays from the long list, the short list and the finalist list go on to have productions, workshops on the basis of having been on those lists.
We are at a tipping point in theatre of people retreating and people kind of going back into their comfort space of, well, these are things we know and these are things we know will sell, and actually I suppose we try and actively combat and challenge that. And that's been shown by the winners of the prize and the plays that have been produced that have received huge audiences. Arguably more than the usual suspects, should we call them?
Yeah, very true. In our first year, there were 2 winners: Reasons You Shouldn't Love Me by Amy Trigg and You Bury Me by the anonymous playwright Arlen.
2 very different winners. And one thing I'd say is that all the submissions we've ever had for the Women's Prize Playwriting have really been so incredibly varied in so many ways. Sometimes there's a zeitgeist each year of things that writers are talking about, but very much the way they manifest themselves or appear in the stories and the kinds of stories we're reading are hugely different, which is kind of one of the joys of winning the prize, actually, isn't it?
I was talking to someone the other day about the tone of the plays, that particularly the ones that have won, or come close to winning. They were like, are they very angry pieces of work? I was like, do you know what? No, they're not. And that's a sexist question. The trope of the angry woman. Yeah. And I was like, no, they're not angry, but what they are is assertive and hopeful. They're rich, they're intelligent, they're well researched, they're skillful.
They're just great stories.
They're great stories. Yeah.